Hey guys, welcome to growthmafia.tv. In this video, I'm going to show you one simple shift in how you use AI that will make you faster and more confident at work. Whether it's writing emails, creating ads, reaching new customers, or even building an actual product. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to do it. And I'm going to build something live to show you. But let me start with something personal. As you know, I've been working as a software engineer for almost 2 decades now, and there's this one challenge that I have, a weakness that I have since I started my software engineering career, and that is writing. And it happens a lot uh, with when it comes to emails. So if you tell me to write an email, it would normally take me like 30 minutes. I feel like I need to put in so much effort just to write a simple email. And there are a couple of reasons for that. I think one is I just didn't develop the skills of writing. And another is that English is not my first language. And then I think that the third one is that I have this tendency to be perfect, like, perfectionist, if you'd say. And that will just add to the problem because I end up rewriting my email and then making sure it's all correct. And then when I send it, there's a mistake. There's still a mistake on the email that was sent. Anyway, that all changed when AI came. And that was 4 years ago when I learned about ChatGPT. And from then on, it changed. Yes, any kind of work that involves writing. So I'm no longer like afraid or scared to write an email or spend that so much time because I have ChatGPT to help me. And and the reason I'm sharing you this story is all of us have skills that we consider weak. And most of the time those weaknesses slow us down or they become an excuse or they're just something we quietly wish we were better at, but not anymore. Some of the things we're weak at or just not able to do, AI can now do for us. That's not something to be afraid of. In fact, that's something to be excited about. But here's the thing. Most people treat AI like Google search. They type in something and they get a response, and that's it. And they miss that AI can do so much more. So the problem is not AI. The problem is how you prompt AI. Think about it. AI has been trained on the world's knowledge. It's like having access to a world-class expert in almost any field. But if you walk to a world-class expert and say, write me an email with no other context, what kind of answer are you going to get? A generic one. Not because the expert isn't capable, but because you didn't give them enough to work with. So if you say, write me an email, you get a bland, generic email. But if you tell it who you are, who you're writing to, what's the situation, and what tone you want, you completely get a different result. So most people don't even realize they're getting mediocre results. They see the output and think, okay, that's what AI can do without knowing how much better it could be. So let me share this simple approach that I use every day to get better results. Let me go to the next slide. Here's a simple framework that you can use. I call it 3 C's or CCC. So the first one is context. So context means you tell AI who you are, you tell it what you do, or what's the situation, who are you talking to, who the customer is. The more it knows about your situation, the more relevant the output. So that's for context. And the next C is challenge. Then you tell it what are you trying to solve, or what are you trying to create, or what are you trying to learn or figure out. It doesn't have to be perfectly clear. Sometimes you just have a rough idea, and that's okay. That's exactly what you bring. And the third C is collaboration. That's when you enter the prompt, right? The context and the challenge, and then AI will respond. That's when you collaborate with AI. So you don't normally take the first result and walk away. So you review it, you check it, and you push back. Like say, make this shorter, or that's too formal, make it sound more like me, or I don't like the result. Can we try another one? So the magic is in the back and forth. You're working together, not just giving orders. So let me show you what this actually looks like in practice. So let me bring Claude Code to the screen. So here's what I'll do. I'm going to build, let's say I'm starting a new business, right? a business where I, I teach entrepreneurs how to quickly create and launch their own landing pages to generate leads for their business. So that's the business that I'm starting. So let me show you how to do that and follow the framework, the three C's framework. And let's do it from scratch. So what's the first C? You give it context. So in this case, I will say, okay, I'm building a landing page for a business that I am starting where I teach entrepreneurs how to quickly create and launch their own landing page to generate leads for their business. Okay, so that's the context. Now the next part is what is the challenge? Make it modern, clean, and ready to use. So let's see what it does. So you can apply this framework not just in Cloud Code, whatever AI you use, like in ChatGPT, Grok, or Gemini. The same framework will work and it will give you better results than just simply telling it what you want and not giving it enough context. So now it's trying to generate the HTML here, and let's wait for a couple of seconds. So what we've done so far is we give it context and we tell it what's the challenge, what are we trying to do. And then the result of this, that's when we start collaborating. Okay, now it's done. So let me just open this in the browser so that it will look great. Here you go. So we come up with a name, launch page pro, and we have here our header with links and with pricing. And we have this hero section that says stop losing leads, start landing them, learn how to build high converting landing page and launch in 48 hours. No designers, no developers, no wasted ad spend. And we have here the call to action to claim your spot or see how it works. And then we have an image here with some kind of animation. Yeah, so far so great. And then here we have like the selling it the benefits. And yeah, seems pretty nice. It created all the copy. Like I think this is how it works. And then he has here the proof and some testimonies and then the pricing, and then that's it. It's nice. So now we haven't collaborated yet. Let me go back to Claude and let's say, okay, let's say I didn't like the color scheme. So let me just say, so far it's good, but didn't really like the color scheme. Can you change it to something cooler? Okay. Again, I'll fast forward this on the edit. Okay, so it's done. Let's check it out. Okay, now it's better. I like the color. And then, but there's this one. Anyway, you get the point. Now, normally what I will do is again, okay, some texts are not clear, and you collaborate and you make edits until you're satisfied with the result. So that's how you do it. So you give it context, you give it a challenge, and then collaboration. You collaborate, you work with the AI. So now let me go back to my slide here. Yeah, so that was the demo. And this one, so you saw on the demo how I use AI to create the landing page. So what else do you use AI for? So let me tell you for 9 years ago, we started a drop shipping business. And one of the biggest challenges I had was creating ads on Facebook. It was such an effort. It took me time and money to get it right. And one of the main reasons was that I didn't have the skills to write good ad copy. But now with AI, it's so good at making copy, as you can see from the demo, right? It knows how to write a good ad for the kind of business you're running. And that's one of the things we use. We use AI for now, running ads on the apps that we build at Mafia. Another challenge is getting leads. And one of the ways to do that is doing cold outreach. Now, one of our businesses is called 10x Salon. And we're not beauty professionals. We're great at building software. But how do you reach an audience you don't belong to? So we leverage AI to help us. And with AI, It helps us understand our customers. It helps us plan the cold outreach, including the actual messages we send to our potential customers. So that's the second example. And then probably last example on how we use AI is that here at Growth Mafia, we use AI to build software. So before AI, building an app or a service would take months. And it's even harder if you're building alone, especially if your app needs some kind of UI. I remember if I had an app idea in mind, I'd start working at it, but then I get entangled by all the different components. Like if the idea required a certain front end technology, I would buy a course and learn it. And by the time I finish the course and got the concepts that I need, it's I already ran out of steam. And I hadn't even validated whether there's a market for the idea yet. But with AI, you can build an MVP quickly, test it, and validate your idea. Now, what would you say to someone who hasn't tried it yet? So you don't need to be a developer. You don't need to be technical. If you can explain what you need to a coworker, you can work with AI. That's really all it is, like a conversation. And the more you use it, the better you get at it. So I would encourage you to start small. Try it on one thing this week. Maybe that email you've been putting off, that idea you want to organize, or whatever it is. You might be surprised, like how much it can do for you. So, guys, we love to hear from you. I hope that you got something good from these videos, something that you can try and apply in your work. So drop a comment and share one way you're already using AI in your work, or if you're just getting started, tell me what you'd want to try first. Let's learn from each other. If this was helpful, please like and subscribe. And we're going to keep sharing how we use AI to build and grow our business here at Growth Mafia. See you on the next one. Bye bye.